The forest floor was bathed in liquid gold as sunlight filtered through the ancient canopy. Here, the king of the forest, a massive golden lion, lay sprawled in a state of absolute peace. His chest rose and fell in a slow, rhythmic dance of deep breaths. His heavy paws were tucked neatly beneath his chin, while his long tail flicked lazily at the persistent buzzing of forest flies. To any other creature, he was a mountain of muscle and fur, a silent titan at rest. The air was thick with the scent of pine and warm earth, and for a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath in respect of his slumber. He was the undisputed master of this domain, unaware that the smallest of inhabitants was about to cross his path. In the tall grass nearby, a tiny mouse was busy at work. Her nose twitched as she searched for fallen seeds, her mind focused only on her hunger. She scurried forward, weaving through the stalks, completely failing to notice the golden wall of fur rising before her. In her frantic haste, she sprinted directly over the lion's nose. Her tiny, sharp paws tickled his sensitive whiskers. The effect was instantaneous. The lion snapped awake, his golden eyes flashing with sudden irritation. With a thunderous roar that sent birds scattering from the trees, he slammed his heavy paw down. The earth trembled. The mouse found herself pinned against the dirt, trapped beneath a weight she could never move. The mouse squeaked in a voice thin with fear. "Please, O king, forgive me. I did not see you. It was a mistake. I promise." She looked into his vast eyes and pleaded, "If you let me go, I promise to repay you one day." The lion stared at the shivering creature. A promise? From a rodent? The absurdity of it tickled his pride. He let out a deep, rumbling laugh that echoed through the ravine. "You? Help me?" he mused, but his irritation had faded into amusement. With a huff of breath, he lifted his massive paw, granting her a miracle. "Go then, little one," he seemed to say with a shake of his mane. He turned away, trotting into the thicket without another word, leaving the stunned mouse behind in the dust, alive and free. Days later, the forest's song was cut short by a sound of pure agony. The lion had been prowling through a narrow ravine when a hunter's trap snapped shut. Thick hemp ropes hoisted him into the air, tangling his limbs in a heavy net. He thrashed with all his might, his claws tearing at the empty air, but the more he struggled, the tighter the knots became. His roars of frustration shook the valley. Nearby, the mouse froze. She recognized that voice. Without a second thought, she sprinted toward the sound, weaving through roots and rocks until she found him suspended and helpless. She climbed onto the coarse net, her tiny frame dwarfed by the ropes. She sank her sharp teeth into the thickest strand. She gnawed with a desperate persistence, her jaw aching as the fibers frayed one by one. She didn't stop. Strand after strand, she chewed through the lion's prison. Finally, with a loud snap, the main support gave way. The net collapsed, and the king tumbled back to the earth, free at last. The lion stood up and shook his golden mane, the dust settling around him. He looked down at the tiny mouse, who stood bravely on the grass. There was no laughter now, only deep respect. The king of the forest bowed his head low to the smallest of creatures, acknowledging a debt that had been paid in full. Kindness, he realized, is never wasted.